This is the Good Pod Guide, where I, Lauren Windle, listener of a million podcasts, let you know what to spend your commute listening to. Think of me as the Simon Cowell of podcasts, or at the very least, the Paula Abdul. When we started the Good Pod Guide, the first thing I did was run over to Twitter and ask for everyone's recommendations of their favorite podcasts. And from that, I got some absolute podcast gold. I got Shagged, Married, Annoyed, which I actually ended up really quite liking. Reply All, which I'm obsessed with. And also today's podcast, which is pretty great. So I guess the moral of this story is that Twitter doesn't have to be the hellscape of biased opinions that sometimes it ends up being, but also we can all share our favorite podcasts. And I am so ready to hear from you guys. So hit me up if there's something you really like that you think I should be listening to and reviewing @_Lauren_Celeste. Looking forward to checking out some of your favorites. But today I'm going to talk to you about Revisionist History by Malcolm Gladwell, which was recommended by someone whose taste I really rate. You know you're a big deal when the name of the podcast includes by and then your name. So hopefully maybe one day this will be the Good Pod Guide by Lauren Windle, or maybe by Stacey Dooley when they increase their budget and get a real presenter in. But who knows? So Malcolm Gladwell is a successful author, essayist, and public speaker. He's been a staff writer for The New Yorker since 1996, which in terms of writing is not only like being in the Premier League, it's like playing for the team that wins the Premier League every single year. In this podcast, he reviews and revises a part of history that's been forgotten or misunderstood. He looks at topics from top secret Pentagon projects and American civil rights movement to the burden of proof and the philosophy of golf. He brings in experts and journalists and government officials to add weight to his research. I really enjoyed the first episode. I think he started strong, and he spoke about artist Elizabeth Thompson, who painted Roll Call. And that was a huge painting released in the 1800s at a time when women weren't a part of the art scene at all. And as he talks about her plight, he also says quite a harrowing statement is, once you know about Elizabeth Thompson, you'll see Elizabeth Thompson's everywhere. And that really rang true for me. A strong contender for best episode is Puzzle Rash. And that's where he challenges his assistant Camille to the law school admissions test. And he basically gets halfway through, panics, runs out of time, and wonders why does the legal world want to rush him? Which was quite amusing. There are 5 seasons in total. And I feel like this is really clever and intellectual. And because of this, I will sound both better on this podcast and at dinner parties if I say I enjoyed it. And I did enjoy it. It was interesting and it was educational. I don't know if I'm going to go back and listen to all of the episodes I missed out, though. I just don't feel that sort of indescribable pull towards it. I can't quite put my finger on what's missing for me. I just didn't sort of stay up later to listen to more. And when I put it down, I didn't carry on thinking about it, which is something I do with some podcasts, which is maybe a bit sad and says a little bit too much about me. I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky and I'm setting the bar too high. My mum certainly tells me that I have a habit of doing that. So I don't know. The fact is that everyone loves this podcast, so the odds are that you will too. In the next episode, I indulge in some noughties nostalgia as I reminisce about when Alex Zane and Alexa Chung were a thing, as well as reviewing his podcast, Clash of the Titles. We've put all you need to know about the show on our website, www.goodpodguide.com, so go and check that out. You can also follow us at Good Pod Guide on Instagram and Twitter.